I have single-handedly slain the great ape. These Spinos had nothing to do with it. They just watched. They just watched. I punched this thing to death with my bare hands. Welcome to the flip side. Welcome to another episode of ARK Survival Evolved, where we are playing hardcore mode, where we don't just start back from level 1 when we die. We erase the entire save. The island, the structures, the dinosaurs, everything. The ultimate hardcore mode, where we have already failed 5 times, but I guess, you know, really, what is failure, right? Because we have learned from every single... Okay, that's just bullcrap. We've definitely failed, okay? I'm not part of this. I mean, I am part of this generation that doesn't see failure as, you know, failure. But sometimes you just fail, man. That's just how it is. Like today, when I've decided, hey, I'm not going to record with the webcam because I am a little bit behind today. So, we're in a bit of a rush, but we are not going to rush the episode. But yeah, no webcam for today or Thursday, what? But today is an exciting day. Nonetheless, webcam or not, we are going to go and fight the Gigantopithecus, and as I am coming up on the obelisk, I'm realizing that I forgot the artifact. It's okay, so we're gonna have to go back. Dang it, this is just like real life, man, when constantly forgetting crap at the house. So, back when Monty and I, back in the day, when Monty and I used to make all sorts of videos, when we did skits and movie trailers and sketches and all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, my phone is ringing right now. I don't recognize the number, so we'll just let it go to voicemail. So back when Monty and I used to do a lot of video work back at the beginning of our YouTube life, so to speak, we used to forget camera stuff all the time. Like, we would have these big shoots planned, and then we would forget a tripod, or we'd forget the extra battery. And the worst of them is when we would show up to a shoot. Like, you can... Oh, what? What? Hold on, everybody stop for a second. Story pause. Let's just take a little peek. Let's see what's going on over there. All right, we're not playing games when it comes to Tech Rexes. I do not play... Level 38, that's just crap. So you can usually figure out ways to get around. Ah, crap, we forgot a tripod. You know, no big deal. Ah, crap, we forgot a battery. It's okay, we can charge in between shots. But the worst is when you forget the memory card in your computer. That is just the worst. It neuters the entire shoot and you gotta go back home. And the amount of times that we forgot one critical piece of equipment was not great, but we were just 2 kids going around playing with a camera, basically, and making all these videos, which I think, for just playing with videos and being pretty disorganized, I think we made some pretty great stuff that's still on this channel. But nowadays, because I know I am prone to forgetfulness, I have a pretty extensive equipment list, checklist, that what the heck? Gosh dang it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to kill him in a second. I have a very extensive checklist that I have whenever I'm preparing to go on a video shoot, because now that I'm doing it professionally, I cannot forget a piece of equipment when there are other people going and I'm getting paid for it. That would be, that's like a cardinal sin right there. You cannot do that. So I had to make myself a list, because I knew if I did not have a list, there's no way I would remember everything that needs to be brought with me to a video shoot. So perhaps I should start making lists for ARK before I start an episode. I'm like, what am I going to be doing this episode? And then make a list and then check it off. But man, that sounds like, who does that? Who does that? ARKsperts do that. You know what? Perhaps I need to relinquish my title of ARKspert, or just need to get good. G-U-D, good, and get gooder after that, and then continue to keep gooding better and better until the title of ARKspert is truly undisputed. I feel like my ARKspertness comes in. I was gonna say squirts, but that's definitely not the right word. Spurts is the word I was looking for. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Listen, let's just go fight the monkey, and stop piddle paddling along with this gibberish that is profusely vomiting out of my mouth hole right now. And then after we do this, oh my gosh, I'm starving. I better have food with me. That would just be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? If I forgot the stupid artifacts, go all the way home, and then realize I had no food on me. But I do have food, so we are good to go. After we beat and just absolutely own this Gigantopithecus, we will go ahead and, well, we're going to have to start prepping for the dragon, which is going to be a little bit trickier as the remaining artifacts that we have are no gimmies. There are no gimmies in the remainder of the artifacts. So, should be interesting to see, well, we're going to have to figure it out. We've never gotten this far. So, this is... What? Where's the chick? Oh, right, yep. Right. I forgot. Wait. Do I need to do this at the blue obelisk? I must need to. What? All right. Let's go. Can I make this jump? Ah! I know it's not a jump really, but oh, what? Nailed it. All right, let's go to the blue obelisk. Right. It's been a while since I played the island, so all these things are coming back to me kind of slowly, but we'll get there. Because I think when Sarah and I have done this in the past, fought the bosses, we've used the supply drops, not the actual obelisks. All right, Rex, sorry about that, dude, but thank you for your arms. And yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate your donation, my friend. Sarah, whenever she's doing well in Monopoly, every time you land on one of her properties and have to pay her rent, she will say, "Thank you for your donation to the Bank of Sarah. It's much appreciated." And she'll just say that every single time, and just to rub it in over and over and over again, incessantly. It's very fun to do that to your opponent, but being on the receiving end of that, never fun. Never a good time. And so that just is motivation right there, to never be on the losing end of a Monopoly game. Wow. Really struggled with that one, but we got it out, and you know what? We'll call that a success. Even though it was a failure, bringing it back to the beginning of this episode, in which I've already forgotten what I said. But one thing that is very exciting about today, even though as you guys are watching this, the today I speak of is actually yesterday. And for those of you who are watching this far in the future, well, the timeline will make no sense to you. But our Camp Cretaceous dub that we just did this last week has finally been released by Netflix and Universal for us to be able to release to the masses. And so that premiere is in 2 hours, and I am very excited as Carl, my best friend and favorite dinosaur to voice, is the main character in this Camp Cretaceous dub. What we've been doing with our dubs recently, so for those of you who watch our dubs, I know some of you here are just for the ARK content, but the vast majority of people who watch our videos are here because of the If Dinosaurs Could Talk series. So what we've been doing differently ever since the Godzilla vs. Kong video is we used to just take, and this probably is split as to people who enjoy this and people who don't enjoy it, but it makes it much more enjoyable for me to make, and that's really what I have to go by. But what I've been doing, so initially we would just take every single clip of a dinosaur or a monster or whatever type of video we were doing for that episode. We would just take every single clip of any creature from a movie, put it into a timeline in Premiere on a video editing software, and then we would do a voice and a little bit for every single instance of a dinosaur or a creature in that movie, every single one. But what we've been doing since Godzilla vs. Kong is we actually omit a lot of scenes with dinosaurs or monsters in them, in the movies, we actually leave them out so as to just have kind of 1 or 2 main storylines, and then we only include clips from the movie that we can use through our dub to further that one particular storyline. Like, for example, there were more creatures in Godzilla vs. Kong than we ended up voicing, but doing their little voice segments would have taken, it would have been just it would have taken away from the story we were trying to tell with Godzilla vs. Kong, with those 2 characters and their interactions and their kind of through storyline that we were playing off of. If we were to bring in these other characters, it just would have slowed down the pacing of the episode. So, what we've been doing is just eliminating any bits that don't really further the story. So, I'm curious to see how people react because we didn't voice any of the raptors from the Camp Cretaceous season, or the baby Anki, because the video that I wanted to make was solely focused around Compy, Carl, and Trevor, and because those 3 all interact in some way or another in the show, and so that was the most like the best form of not continuity, but it just flowed the best using those only. So we've been leaving out some dinosaurs here and there in our most recent videos just to make a more clean and just a video that flows much better. And I think that the videos are much better for it, even though I'm sure some people will be disappointed that some of the characters are getting left out. But all that being said, I'm curious because that video is premiering in a couple hours, even though I think it's one of the funnier videos that we've made in this dub format. We'll see how people react to the raptor scenes being cut simply because they did not add to the story I wanted to tell with Carl and Trevor. So, should be interesting. I don't know. I'm excited for this new way that we're doing dubs instead of just smashing every single clip of a dinosaur into one video and then trying to come up with stuff. It's like, hey, let's tell this story. What scenes add to that? What scenes don't add to it? And then let's cut out all the ones that don't. So far it has been, I think it's worked out really well. So I'm excited. I really am. And it's the first time I've been excited to do dubs in a long time. It's because of this new format. So should be fun. But we are coming up on the blue obelisk, the blue obelisk, as I like to call it. And we even have a level so that we can pump one more level into Emily here before we head into battle. Thankfully, we did not run into a Giga, which was a slight concern of mine, as I almost always find Gigas on this mountain over here. Would have been easier to fly, but you know what? We actually made fantastic time just running along with the spine. I've never actually climbed this mountain before. I've always flown up here. Might want to tame a Deodon coming up here soon, but for this battle, we should be good since we're just going to be confronting the giant monkey on Gamma. A Gamma Gigantopithecus is in our future, and we are ready to take him on if we could just make it inside. Really? Really, game? You're going to block me at this point? You're gonna let me climb all the way up here with the Spinosaurus, and then right at the entrance, you're gonna be like, nah, fam, no! Don't send me back down. I do not want to fall back down and climb back up. I do not want to, Sam, I am. Wow, my hand just whiplashed around. Let's see, all right, and we're in. Perfect, all right, let's just make sure that this was actually what we were supposed to do, and if it wasn't just 15 minutes wasted. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, boom! There we go. All right, so Emily's here. Let's go ahead and give her one more level of melee damage, and then let's start bringing the fam out. Bringing out the fam, and we're going to go ahead and dump another level into melee damage, because I think they all have, this one's got 2 levels, so that's kind of handy, but it is all going into melee damage every single extra level that we have, as we don't have the time or, quite frankly, the patience to wait for increased health. All of the new babies that we just made in the last episode or 2 are at about 9,800 health. I think they all may be at exactly 9,800 health. And then all the previous Spinos are anywhere between like 10,000 and 25,000 health. And so just for the gamma, I'm feeling pretty confident going into this. So we got 17,000 here. Even though the melee damage isn't wild, because I've been spending most of the points of their levelings into health, I feel pretty good going into this battle, thinking that, you know, the Gigantopithecus, big target for our Spinos, and as long as we can navigate them around the entryway into the actual boss arena, then I think we should be good, because that's really the most scary part about this initial, about the Gigantopithecus fight, is this freaking entrance, which I've lost so many creatures. Like, I feel like it's at least one creature every time I've done this boss fight, I lose to gravity because they simply fall to their death. And it really sucks when that happens. So hopefully that is not the case today. We will see, though. We will see. So everybody on me. For those of you who are too far out, you know, I need you to squeeze in here. All right, wow, this is a lot going on. All right, here we go. 30 seconds away from being the furthest we've ever gotten in this hardcore series. Gosh. All right, Jane, this is it. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, everyone can stop moving. Yep, there we go. All right, Jane, I hope this is not the last time we are looking upon your Thory face, as hopefully we will get to see you again on the other side of this. But here we go. The battle of the ages. All right, where's Emily? Where's Emily? Emily. Thankfully, you get a little bit of time here at the beginning before things really kick off. Okay, Evie, Evan, Spinos, Ethan, Ellie. I figured I wouldn't name all... Okay, there's Emily right there. I figured I wasn't going to name all the new Spinos right off the bat. Instead, I decided to leave them all as Spino until this fight was over. And then... Oh, I got to turn this way a little bit. Okay, yep, we're all here. Don't take too wide of turns, fellas. All right, and up we go. Come on. Yes, okay. I think everybody's made it successfully up to the boss. And now hopefully he doesn't turn around and whack him off the edge. But I think we got this. His health is going down pretty quickly. There are a lot of yellow numbers here, but I think we got this. All right, you stupid monkey. Get your butt scratched. I feel like we're doing this guy a favor by scratching his bum. Why don't... Oh, my gosh. And monkeys just fall from the heavens. It's... Oh, no! I think we lost one! Off the cliff! Or is he okay? Ethan! Get up here, dude. I see his name. It keeps going further and further. Ethan, don't go off the edge, dude. Stay with us. Oh, man, I can't get to him. He's too far, and there's too many Spinos. Ethan, stay with us, dude. Hold on to the edge. Okay, he's on the stairs. He's on the stairs. He's not nearly as far gone as I thought. Okay, all right. Megapithecus defeated. Wow. Totally wrecked that guy's crap. Actually, no. Everybody just stop moving. Just stop moving. Yeah, that's great. No. Stop moving. All right, if I have you guys moving around, there's a good chance that somebody is going to fall off the edge when I really would love for that not to happen. So let's just not do that. Okay, so we got our trophy. Very good. And we got our 40 element, which is exactly what we were wanting. So now we can go back and build ourselves a tech replicator, make ourselves some tech armor, and get ourselves that jetpack and the boots that'll stop fall damage. And I will stand on top of my great achievement. I have single-handedly slain the great ape. These Spinos had nothing to do with it. They just watched. I punched this thing to death with my bare hands. Well, kind of. Let's just, before these Spinos revolt because I'm taking all the credit for their hard work. Yeah, let's just teleport ourselves back to the good world and head back home. That, my friends, is what we call an efficient episode. We set out to do one thing, and we did that one thing, and now we're heading back home to clean up the mess, which there really isn't much of a mess. I'd like to see if anybody leveled up from that. And quite frankly, I would feel confident enough to do that on the beta, but there is no point in doing that at this junction. perhaps before we go and fight the dragon or the overseer, we'll want to do this again because we're going to be short on element to actually build a full suit of tech armor. Unless we... Because that tech armor... Well, it's going to be important for the final boss fight, the overseer, so that I can float around and shoot down the stupid drones that he calls in. And if we can't do that, we are going to be at a disadvantage. But will it be so much of a disadvantage that with an army of Spinos that will continue to level up that we won't be able to defeat the overseer on Gamma? I don't know the answer to that question at this moment. We're just going to have to play it by ear, I think. We'll see how the dragon battle goes. If we just own the dragon outright, then perhaps I'll feel confident enough to just move on to the overseer without a full set of tech armor. But I don't know, man. Especially because we're just taking this character from this island over to Scorched Earth. It'd be real nice to start over there with some tech armor is all I gotta say. So that would be like the biggest reason to farm up that tech armor, is to make sure we are properly prepared for the upcoming lands that we will be ascending off to. But in the here and the now, that went extremely well. We didn't even lose anybody off the side of the mountain, which I was concerned would happen. Thankfully, not the case today. Not the case, which is a fantastic accomplishment. But now we just have to be careful on the way down not to run into any gigas. And if we do run into any gigas, we better run our silly little butts all the way back to our home. Did I already cryopod Emily? I don't know. I wasn't really... It's hard to tell which Spino you're cryopodding when it's just a congealed mass of Spinosauruses waiting for you on the other end of the boss arena teleportation. So we'll look through the cryopods here and get Emily out and run back. But, so, here's what is facing us at this point. We have 3 more artifacts to get, and we are very, very poorly prepared for each and every one of them. So, we have got the Artifact of the Strong. The single most... Well, actually, the Artifact of the Strong, which is the Winter Cave, the one that's directly beneath me right now, actually. That, I just want to make sure... Yep, I got the trophy, the element, and the flag all in my inventory. So let me find Emily real quick. Evie Emily. There she is. Okay, so the Artifact of the Strong is one of the caves that gave Sarah and I the most problems in our Let's Play that we did. And we ended up being able to do that by having a Yuba, a U-Tyrannus with us. And by riding a U-Tyrannus through that cave was the only way we were able to beat it. We tried it with Theres. That didn't work. We tried it on foot at one point. That definitely didn't work. Maybe a Megatherium would be good in that cave, but there's not... I don't recall there being bugs in that cave. There were a lot of polar bears and Perlovias. That was the biggest issue with the Perlovias, that would just knock you off your mount. And the Yubas were the best option for us because they were tall enough where the Perlovias really couldn't knock you off your mount, but they were still small enough to be able to fit through the majority of the caves. So obviously, like, a Rex isn't going to work in that cave. It's too big. I think the Spinos would be too big, but the Yubas worked really well. So perhaps we'll go the Yuba route, but we'll have to tame one, which can be tricky, and we want to be careful there. Then we've got the Artifact of the Cunning, which is the underwater cave in which we lost Jane. No, not Jane. Jade. We lost Jade, who was the character that we previously held the record for the furthest we had gotten in this map on hardcore mode, but now we have just surpassed that. And now our character now, Jane, is the record holder for the furthest we've ever gotten. So officially, from here on out, we are in uncharted territories, which is pretty exciting. But it was the Artifact of the Cunning, that water cave, that spelled our demise in the last go-around. So that one is very nerve-wracking, and we have no breeding Basilosauruses right now to be able to create an army. So we are far away from being able to take on that one. That's probably the last cave we will end up taking on, and yeah, it'll definitely be nerve-wracking when we decide to take on that challenge, but it'll be a really fun challenge for us to try to conquer. And then we have the final artifact, I believe. It's only the 3. It's the artifact of the Skylord. Okay, Skylord's easy. We'll get that one, no problem. But the artifact of the immune is no pushover because of the poison that is in there. We need to have gas masks to keep us safe from the poisonous air. And there's a lot of arthropluras in there that like to come and eat off your armor, including your gas masks. So that is definitely going to be a challenge, as well as currently we don't have any tames that I feel confident taking into such a brutal cave and getting out unscathed. I don't trust our baryonyx to be able to go into the artifact of the immune cave and get us out of there in one piece. So it'd be great. See, a great tame for that cave would be a Megatherium. That would be ideal because there's tons of bugs in that cave. It's only bugs throughout that entire cave. Maybe some Titanoboas, but it's mostly bugs. And a Megatherium would just be perfect for what we would face there, but those things are really a pain to tame, as we have found out through multiple attempts of taming them. So we need to just be really careful, because I don't want to come this far just to be trying to tame a creature and die from that. If we die from trying to tame something at this point, that would be a major failure on our part. And there's no point in going and trying to tame a Giga, because we can't take them into the boss fights, I believe. So there would be no point in doing that. I can't believe how dark this is. This has nothing to do with my gamma settings. This is just dark for the sake of darkness right now. This is really odd. I'm in pitch blackness. I can't even see. And interesting, I see no sign. Oh, okay, well, there's some sun. Weird lighting effect going on right now. Oh, look at that. We see a little bit of sun. So don't have to worry about taming Giga, but I am a little bit concerned about taming the Megatherium. And the Basilosauruses are easy, but that could be incredibly time-consuming for us to go and try to find ourselves a bunch of good Basilosaurs, as we've already found by crossing the ocean a bunch of times. But I'll probably have to do some of that off camera so that we're not just swimming around for hours and hours and hours on end trying to find ourselves a pair of good Basilosauruses. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us, though. We also got the Yuba, which the Yuba is one of the scariest tames, I feel, to go and try to tame. Simply because it usually rolls with a posse, and it can make your tame run, especially on some of the smaller tames that you can shoot from and run at the same time. So yeah, I don't know, man. Should be interesting. It's definitely no walk in the park from here on out, even though we have eclipsed our previous record of distance traveled in our hardcore mode. There's still a long way to go. It's definitely an uphill climb onward to victory, and we haven't even discussed the tech cave yet, which there's no favors for us waiting at the tech cave, that's for sure. Oh man, but I feel like we are on a good path to be able to finally make our way off the island. I think we can do it. I think we're in a good spot. We've got our Spinos. This army of Spinos, I feel very confident we'll be able to defeat the Overseer, especially as we continue to level them up. We should be in a pretty good spot to be able to fight that stupid is it a robot? Is it an AI? Like, what is the Overseer? I'm sure there's lore on it, because I know ARK has a surprisingly deep lore pool to draw upon. And so I'm curious. I'm sure there's answers for all my questions in regards to what is that? What is happening? Who are they? Why am I doing this? All of these questions, I'm sure, have very deep and satisfying answers that I will never look into on my own. But if you guys want to drop some ARK knowledge, to do a little ARK knowledge flex in the comments, feel free to. Let's grab some of this polymer real quick. Might as well. You don't look a gift polymer duck in the mouth. You just take it. And there we go. Just take 100 polymer just like that. There's a extremely cheap and efficient way to get polymer. I can't believe how long it took Sarah and I to realize you could get polymer from penguins, and it was just this hardcore playthrough that I learned you can get them from the ducks also. And man, how much time and resources it would have saved Sarah and I in our initial seasons if we just knew that we could get polymer that way instead of crafting it with obsidian. Man, that would have saved us so much time, but alas, we know now, and that's a big thing with ARK, is you just gotta play and learn. You learn through your mistakes and, 10-year-olds yelling at you on YouTube for being an idiot, and then you learn from it. As long as you can take some criticism, there's a lot to be learned about ARK. But it's definitely not for the faint of heart, as it does not hold your hand in any way whatsoever. But the Dodo Decks, what a cool resource that is. I've used that so much. The Dodo Decks and the Gamepedia for ARK is probably the only reason that Sarah and I decided to start playing ARK again. Because if y'all remember, we did what we dubbed, I shouldn't say dubbed with all the talk of dubbed videos, but a season that we called Season 0 was the very first co-op playthrough that Sarah and I tried to do in ARK, and we quit very fast because of just how frustrating the game was. But we decided to give it another shot, and the Gamepedia and the Dodo Decks really, I gotta give credit to being the reason why we made it through, because we probably never would have continued if we didn't have those resources. So good on the people who made those. Wildcard, the developers of ARK, should really be thankful to their community for putting that crap together, or else their game would just be so frustrating. All right, taking out an Alpha Megalodon just because we can. We just get 2 levels from that, but that's okay. We'll just keep powering Emily up. And with every level, she becomes more of a threat to both the dragon and the overseer. But I think this is where we're gonna call the episode. So in between episodes, I'm gonna head the rest of the way home, drop off all the Spinos, get my inventory reallocated, and then next episode we'll make a decision. Which artifact do we want to pursue first? Do we want to do the strong artifact, or do we want to go ahead and knock out the immune cave? But the thing with the artifact of the immune is we need the gas masks, and I don't know if we have the absorbent substrates. I believe that's what it's called. I don't think we have what we need to make those at this point. I gotta check our inventory and see where we're at, but we'll also check our metal stores to see if we're ready to make a tech replicator. But if we do have enough metal for that, it may actually be a better decision to make the industrial forge first and then make the tech replicator, as we are still dealing with normal forges right now, and it sure does take a heck of a long time to smelt metal. So we'll prioritize, and then we'll do stuff. Prioritize and execute. Execute was the word I was looking for. And we'll take it from there. But anyway, successful episode. Made it to and from the boss fight safely with no casualties, which is exactly what I was hoping for. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and hope you're enjoying this series, as, man, I sure hope this is the final character that we need to roll on the island before we head to Scorched Earth. It's yet to be seen. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but we seem to be in a pretty darn good spot going forward. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see all of you on... Wow, the shadows are crazy. The flip side. Bye.